This is a tutorial for AudioSlave's Your Time Has Come. It's going to cover rhythm guitar parts and the bass lines. And the bass lines basically just follow any single note riff the guitar is playing, as well as the root notes of the chords. For the most part, we'll talk a little bit about that too. There are a couple of spots where the bass maybe stretches out on its own a little bit. Of course, to fully achieve Tom Morello's sound, you'd have to have at least an octave pedal for this song, which is what he uses in the beginning. So this is going to sound only half of the sound that you're hearing, because it's only one octave, and it can be played that way. But you need the octave pedal for the full sound. So in the beginning, we have this riff. Okay, so that is starting on the D string, 2 0 2 0 2 0, moving up to the A string, the same lick except that it's played 4 times instead of 3. 2 0 2 0 2 0 2 0, up to the E string, 3 0 3, back to that. That's 3 0 3 5, A string, 0 2 5, D string, 0 2 5 2 0, back to A, 5 2 0, E, 5 3. Oops. Okay, and then we get the main riff of the song. So that intro was just guitar. Bass and drums join in the guitar here with the main riff. Okay, so bass, pay attention because you'll be playing this exactly the same way. So to simplify, first let me explain it this way. Starting on the A string, 7 5, then moving up a string, 7 5 3 0. And basically repeating that, but the phrasing changes. 7 5 7 5 3 0, and adding 5 there. That's okay. But there's one other little thing. We actually don't start on 7 here. We do this little kind of ghost note type of hammer on into it. So if you have trouble with that, you can just start right at 7. But to be authentic, it's okay, so both bass and guitar doing that. And there's really only one other main part, which is the chorus. G5 to D, A, E power chord. None of these are really played as full chords, so G5 is really a power chord. Actually, we don't really need to play a full D. We'll just go like this or like this instead of this. And just hit D, G, and B. You can even maybe hit the A string, that's okay too. An A power chord and an E power chord. Now you hear the bass in this part going like this. So that's 3 on the E string, 3 3 3, open A, 2nd frets, then up to 5 5 5 5 5 5 5, then moving up a string, 5 5 5 3 2 0. Now sometimes I feel like I hear the guitar doubling that. So to do that with the chords would look like this. Later in the song, I think when the chorus starts to go more than one time through, when they start to double the chorus, which would be like the second and third choruses, you'll hear Tom Morello doing this. That was the same, but then watch here. So what he's doing is when he gets to the D chord, then he slides up. You can actually just keep the chord shape and slide up an entire octave, which, as you can see, brings you to, from the high E string going this way, 14, 15, 14. It's the same thing as playing your D chord down here. You slide it up an octave. So he does. Okay, and then, so that's to make it ring out as like an E major chord. He slides, after hitting the E power chord, he slides on the G string up to 13, and then lets that ring while he hits 14 on the D string. So those are little added things you can add in. Now, after the guitar solo, there's this kind of interlude that basically follows the bass notes of the main of the main riff or chord progression. There it just goes. Oops, what did I do there? It's sorry, I scratched that. Open 3, then switching strings 5, and then back 5 3 3 3 4. Bass and guitar are both doing that. Halfway through, the guitar starts adding some higher notes. So to do that, just add the open B and E strings, which you could also, if you want to, you could go like this. Do a hybrid picking. And just use these two fingers, pick the bass note with your pick, and then go like that if you want, or use your pick in both cases. Then remember we used a G5 earlier in the song, so you would pick the G and then pluck the top two notes on the same two strings. Hit D over here, and if you've ever played this bar chord, what I did was I just took, instead of going like this, I took just the two strings where we would hit those notes, which would be the G string and the B string, both at 7. So I hit D here, and then I hit the 7 7 here. And then they build up on an A power chord there to get back into the chorus. So here's the whole interlude. Bass, you just keep playing the individual notes the whole time. 2 3 4 2 3 4. etc. Okay, so that's basically the song there. Now, there is a pretty crazy guitar solo, as one would expect from Tom Morello, in the middle. You could easily skip this section of the song. You could play the second chorus of the song, and then you could go right into the interlude, go right to that. But just to quickly talk about, I mean, I'm playing on an acoustic guitar here, so obviously I'm not going to get anywhere near what he's doing there. He's using some kind of octave effect and delay, and if you watch him playing live, he's not picking. He's doing all hammer-ons and pull-offs over here while he's using a kill switch, which makes his pickup, one of the pickups cut in and out. So he's going between a pickup that's on and a pickup that's off. That's also what he uses for that record scratching sound in Bulls on Parade. But this one's a bit different. Melodically, what's going on in this solo too is actually pretty interesting and kind of out there when you compare what he's playing over the chords to the chords themselves. But it breaks down to this. If you want to know what notes he's actually playing in the solo, he arpeggiates an E major chord. He does that 8 times. Then he does the same thing with a G major arpeggio, and I'm not playing in the position he's playing in. I'm just playing what I transcribed the notes to be without the effects in a positions that were a little bit easier for me to play in. And he goes to A, then B, back to G, A, D. He kind of sustains this D note, and then they're back into. So whether you do it his way or you do it my way, it's not an easy solo. Okay, so if you're not prepared to do that, it would be easier on electric, by the way, than on an acoustic. You can see I'm struggling to play that, but if you're not prepared to do that or get the crazy effects and all that, skip that section of the song. All right, hope that was helpful.